Hello yogis. Today we're going to be doing a practice using some props. So I would recommend a strap, and if you don't have a strap you can use something like, this is just a tie from one of my bathrobes, a folded up towel, a nice big thick towel or blanket, and a yoga block. So if you're ready, let's go ahead and get started. We're going to begin in a modified Savasana pose. So come on down onto your backs and bend your knees. And let your knees fall in together. Palms can be facing up or facing down. Or you may want to have your arms over your head. And close your eyes and come into stillness. Just for a few moments, let's center ourselves. Just get ready. Get your mind ready for the practice. Maybe take note of how your body feels right now. Maybe notice any areas of tightness or tension. Maybe notice how the air feels on your skin. How your clothes feel on your skin. Notice your breath. No need to change it, just take note. Forget about your to-do list. Just be present with me here today. Just a few more breaths. Inhale through your nose and exhale through your nose. All right, go ahead and open your eyes. And we're going to do some pelvic tilts here. So bring your arms down to your sides and palms flat on the mat. And just rotate your pelvis, just slightly. Just some slight pelvic tilts here. So you're tilting it up and back. Maybe when you tilt it back, you're making a little gap here on the mat between your back and the mat. So tilt your pelvis and then tilt it back, maybe exaggerating a little bit here. And tilt your pelvis again and back. Just a few more times, tilt and back, maybe a little more exaggeration here. And tilt and back. Okay, this time let's go ahead and bring our hips up slightly and then lower them. Hips up and down. Just a few more times. Hips up and down. Hips up. And this time let's leave them up. Let's do a bridge pose here. So bringing your hips a little higher, and if you have your block, you may want to use it here, just for a more restorative pose. So you can rest your hips down on the block, any level, the higher level or the lower level, and just relax here. Maybe puff up your chest a little bit. Maybe bringing your shoulders underneath your body. And we'll hold it here for a few breaths. Okay, if you've got a block under you, go ahead and release that now. And bring it out to the side. And then keeping your left leg bent, go ahead and raise your right leg up into the air. And you can grab behind your right thigh here. And you can straighten it if you like or keep it bent. And let's do some ankle circles here. So circling in clockwise direction a few times. And then counterclockwise a few times. And then flex your foot. Nice flex. You can really feel it in your calf here when you do that. I can anyway. And point. And flex. And point. And flex. And point. And then just let your foot have a natural, you don't have to have it flexed or pointed here. And just maybe bringing your thigh closer to your chest here a little bit. Maybe you want to straighten your leg a little bit more. And then bend your right leg and bring your knee into your chest. Bring your chest up to meet your knee. And lower down, and then do a wide-legged stretch here. So bring your right knee towards your right armpit. And then cross your right ankle over your left knee, and we'll do a figure 4 stretch here. Lifting your left knee up, closer to your chest. You can grab behind your left thigh or your left shin. And make sure that right knee is rotated out away from your face. And you can flex your right foot here if you'd like. Head and shoulders should be down on the mat. It's a really intense hip opener here. We'll hold it here for a few more breaths. Try to relax the other parts of your body. So, relax your face and your shoulders, and just breathe into that stretch you feel in your right glute. Okay, go ahead and lower that, and bring your right foot down to the mat, knee bent, and raise your left leg up into the air. Again, it can be straight or bent, and let's rotate your ankle clockwise a few times of your left foot. And then counterclockwise a few times. And then let's flex the left foot and point and flex and point and flex and point. And then relax that foot. And maybe you want to straighten your leg a little bit more, or bring your left leg closer to your chest. Whatever feels good for you today. Every day is different. Every body is different. And then go ahead and we'll do figure 4 on the other side. So cross your left ankle onto your right knee and lift your right knee up into the air. You can grab behind your right thigh or your right shin. Ooh, I'm really tight on this side. Maybe you want to flex your left ankle. Head and shoulders are on the mat. And I'm just going to breathe into my left glute here. For some reason, this side is very tight today. I didn't even realize it until I did this stretch. It's funny how our bodies can change day to day. I mean, some days we may feel great, and other days we just feel so tight, so achy. And go ahead and release that, your right foot onto the mat, and then bring your left knee up into your chest, and then raise your chest up, bringing your forehead to your knee. And then lower your head, and then bring that left knee out into a wider stretch here, bringing it towards your left armpit. And go ahead and release that. And we're gonna do some roll-ups here. So raise your arms up over your head and get a good stretch here. Stretch your legs out. Really stretch it out onto the mat. Nice, good stretch. And then go ahead and bring your arms down to your sides and rolling up and down. We'll do that a few more times. Arms overhead. And go ahead, when you do this, bring your arms up and you curl your head and you curl your spine and you're coming up here. And down a few more times. Up and down. Up and down. And you can stretch forward as far as you want. Again, listen to your body and do what feels good for you today. For me today, this feels really nice. Okay, last time, coming down, arms overhead, one more full body stretch here. And we'll come on up to a tabletop position on your hands and knees. Your hands are directly under your shoulders, knees directly under your hips. Let's do some cat-cow stretches. So inhale and relax your belly and open up your heart, open up your throat, look up into cow. Exhale, push the mat away, curl your spine, looking down at your belly button into cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. And exhale, cat. And then any other free-form movement that you'd like to do here, maybe bringing your left shoulder to your left hip, right shoulder to right hip. Maybe doing some neck circles here. Feel good. Maybe just shaking your head. No and yes. And let's do some circles here, warming up our wrists, circling in one direction a few times. And then the other direction a few times. And then coming into stillness. And let's push back into child's pose. So sit back onto your heels and bring your arms way out in front of you, palms spread wide on the mat, and then bring your forehead down to rest onto the mat, child's pose. And breathe. And enjoy this nice stretch. And then come up onto your fingertips and just walk your fingers over to the left side of your mat and then press back down. And here you feel a good stretch on the right side of your body. And bring your fingertips back up and walk those fingertips over to the right side of your mat and then press back down. Getting a good stretch on the left side of your body this time. And coming back up onto your fingertips, walk them back into the center and push back down. And then rise up, come back to tabletop, and we're gonna press back into a puppy pose this time. So walk your hands in front of you and then press your chest down. This time, hips stay up into puppy pose for a really good shoulder stretch. And coming back up to tabletop, we're gonna come into downward facing dog. So curl your toes and lift your hips up into the air, into downward facing dog. Knees can be generously bent here. Your ears are between your biceps, your arms are straight, your palms spread wide. Your heels are coming down towards the mat, but they definitely don't have to touch the mat. And it's better to keep your spine straight, so if you need to bend your knees to do that, please do so. I definitely need to do so. And let's pedal our feet back and forth here, bringing one heel down and then the other, just back and forth, listening to your body, giving it what it needs today. And shake your head yes and no, just releasing that tension that you may feel. And then walk your hands back, bending your legs. And when you reach your toes, go ahead and slowly roll up. Roll your spine very, very slowly. Head and shoulders are the last thing to come up. Roll your shoulders down and back. And do a few shoulder rolls here. A few times back. And then forward. Feels really good, I hope. And then let's do some shakes. I like to shake. If you watch my videos, you know that I do a lot of shaking. So go ahead, shake your arms, your hands, shake your legs, shake everything out. Just get all loose. And let's do some side twists here, just very gentle. Knees are bent, and just letting your arms go back and forth. Elbows are bent. Just a few more times here. Coming into stillness, and we'll do some monkey stretches to the side. So go ahead and bend over to the right. Your right arm goes down, left arm goes up. You're bending your left elbow. Your left hand is coming up towards your left armpit. And we'll do the other side, bending over to the left, and this time your right elbow is bent. Your right hand is coming towards your right armpit, and we'll just go back and forth a few times. Back and forth. At your own pace, whatever feels good to you today. Monkey stretches. Back and forth, and back and forth. And coming into stillness. This is where you're going to need your strap. So, like I said, anything will do. A tie, if you have a yoga strap, that's great. I don't have one, so I usually use either the strap for one of my yoga mats or from a rope. So I like this one because it's really long and I have long arms. So go ahead and hold onto your strap. Get a comfortable position for your feet. And we're going to do some shoulder stretches here. So raise your arms up overhead, a wide stretch, and then bring your arms behind you. Overhead and in front. Overhead and behind. And it may take you a few times to get the distance right. Like even for me, I think I could go a little bit wider here. It might feel better for me. So front and back. And front and back. Again, at your own pace, whatever feels good to you. And then let's pause overhead, arms wide, and let's stretch to the left, looking up at the ceiling. And then back to top, and we'll bend over to the right, looking up at the ceiling. And back to center, and we'll do that again over to the left. And back to center, and then to the right. And back to center. And now we're going to use this to do some more shoulder stretches. So raise your right arm up into the air, bend your right elbow, and then bring your left hand behind your back. And you can use your strap here to just, can you see me? Just to do some nice stretches here, up and down. Up and down. Ooh, I've got a really tight tricep here. Stretches your shoulders and your triceps really good. Back and forth. Again, oh, don't overdo it. Do what feels right for you today. And go ahead and release that, and we'll do the other side. So this time your left arm is up in the air, bend your left elbow, and then bring your right hand behind and grab onto your strap and do the stretches on this side. Ooh. Yes, my triceps are talking to me. Up and down. Ooh. Just a few more times. Really stretching your shoulder and your triceps here. And go ahead and release that. Oh. And shake it out. Let's shake the arms. Shaking really good, right? Okay. Now let's jump out to a wide-legged stance, okay? Inhale your arms up, way up, look up. And then with a flat back, exhale and swan dive over really slowly here, using your back and your legs and your glutes, and then coming all the way down into a wide-legged forward fold. And then you can open up your legs as far as you like here, whatever's comfortable for you, and just fold over. Maybe you want to bring your arms behind you. Whatever feels good to you today. And from here, let's rise up to a flat back. And we're going to go ahead and bring our fingertips over to the right side, bending our right knee. Here, getting a good inner thigh stretch on your left side. And go ahead and walk your fingers to the other side or slide them over to the left side, and feeling a nice stretch on your right, what is this, leg, your inner thigh. And come back over to the right and stretch, and we'll just go back and forth here. Back and forth, keeping your spine straight. Then holding these stretches as long as you'd like. Maybe you'd like to go a little more quickly back and forth, or hold one side a little bit longer. Just back and forth a few times. And then the next time you're at the right side, go ahead and lift your left heel up. And then coming back over to the left, and lift your right heel up. And one more time over to the right, lifting the left heel up. And maybe this time you want to lift your left arm up into the air too. Looking up at the ceiling. And coming back down, going over to the left. Right heel comes up. Right arm goes up and looking up at the ceiling. And coming back to center. One more forward fold. And then go ahead and rotate over so you're facing the front of your mat, and bring your left knee down to the mat. And the top of your left foot can be down on the mat, or you can keep your left toe curled under here. And then rise up into a low lunge. And we'll lunge forward a few times here, and back, and forward, and back. Maybe you want to arch back a little bit here, looking up at the ceiling, getting a nice deep stretch here in your hip flexor. And then coming back up. Go ahead and bring your left hand down to the mat, and bring your right arm up into the air, gazing up at your right fingertips in a simple twist. And lower your right arm down, and go ahead, uncurl your left toes, and we're gonna go ahead and come back into that wide-legged forward fold. So go ahead, come back to the side of your mat, folding down, coming back up to a flat back, and we'll go to the back of the mat this time. So this time your left knee is bent, bring your right knee down to your mat, and your right toe can be curled, or your foot can be the top of your foot can be flat on the mat. And go ahead and rise up into your low lunge, and we'll lunge forward and up and forward and up. And this time when you lunge forward, maybe you want to arch back a bit and look up at the ceiling or the sky if you're outside. And then bring your right hand down to the mat, and bring your left arm up into the air and gaze up at your left fingertips. Simple twist. And then bring your left hand down to the mat, curl your right toes, and come back over to that wide-legged forward fold. One more time. Okay, and then we're gonna hop back up, bringing our legs back together. So hop up into the center of your mat, and we are going to do a balance pose here. So this is a standing figure 4 stretch. So we already did figure 4 on the mat, right? Which felt pretty intense. This is the same thing, but we're gonna do it standing. So ground down with your right leg. That right foot is firmly planted into your mat, and then bend your left leg and bring your left shin over your right knee. You can put your palms together and then sit back like you're sitting in an imaginary chair. And I really feel this in my right glute. And balance. Do the best you can. Just focus on something that is not moving. Probably not me, because I'm wiggling a lot here. Sit back as far as you'd like to really feel that stretch. And go ahead and rise up, bring your left foot down and shake it out. Shake, shake, shake. I like my shakes. Okay, we'll do the other side. So ground down with your left leg. That left foot is firmly planted into your mat. Balance here, and then bring your right shin over to your left quad, hands at heart center, and sit back into your imaginary chair. Ooh. And balance, focus. Helps me too to engage my core for some reason. When I engage my core, I'm able to balance better. Hold it here. Just a few more breaths. Ooh, I really feel this in my left glute. Oh, okay, come back out of it and shake it out. I just said that because I fell out of it, so you all have to come out of it too. Okay,
That's it for the standing portion of this practice. Let's go ahead and come back down to the mat, onto our backs again. Okay, we are going to go into a tabletop, a reverse tabletop, and then if you like, into a supine plank. So go ahead and come down and, sorry, before we come all the way down, bring your palms to the mat, fingertips facing your feet. And then rise up into a tabletop. And you can be right here if you'd like, if this is where you want to go, or you can push up a little bit farther. And maybe you want to tilt your head back a little bit. And if that feels good for you and you want a little more challenge, you might want to extend your right leg or your left leg. Or you might want to do both legs. And really lift your hips up, lift your heart up, gaze up, hold it, hold, hold. One more breath, and go ahead and release your hips, and bring your knees to your chest, and your forehead to your knees. Okay, and now we're gonna come down onto our backs, all the way down. And we're gonna do a supine crescent here. So raise your arms up over your head, and then bring your feet, your legs, and your feet over to the right side of your mat, and then bring your arms over to the right side of your mat. So you're like in a crescent moon type shape. If you want, you can just use your right hand over and keep your left hand down if you'd like to do that. And breathe. And then coming back to center, let's realign everything. So legs straight, arms straight overhead, and then bring your feet and your legs to the left side of your mat, and then your arms to the left side of your mat, and you're in your crescent moon on the left side now. Again, if you want, you could just leave one arm up and one arm down, or both arms over your head. And breathe. And coming into center, let's realign everything. So legs straight, arms straight, get a good full body stretch here. And then bring your knees up to your chest, give them a good hug. And then bring your forehead to your knees. And this is where we're gonna use our folded blanket or folded towel. So we're gonna do a Savasana where we're gonna lay back onto our towel. If you don't have a towel, you can use a block, or if you want, you can just do a regular Savasana, lying down on your mat, on your back. But if you do want to do this with me, go ahead and arrange it behind you so it elevates your torso, and then bring your head back, and then bring your arms out to your sides, palms facing up, legs straight. Close your eyes and enjoy this Savasana with me. And relax. Relax your forehead. Relax your eyes. Relax your jaw and your throat. Enjoy this
A little back bend here, really opening up your heart. Opening up your heart to the universe. Feeling the love. And breathe. And relax your legs. And your feet, let them fall out to the sides. Let your heart rate slow down. You deserve this time just to relax. There's nowhere to go. There's nothing to do. But just be here with me now. If you'd like a longer Savasana, just feel free to stay here where you're at. But if you're ready to come out of it, go ahead and bend your knees, soles of your feet on the mat. And then roll over to one side. And then release your prop. And come into a fetal position on one side, using your bottom arm as a pillow. Eyes remain closed. Then using your top hand, push the mat away and come up into a comfortable seated position. Inhale, your arms up, gaze up. Exhale, your arms down, gaze down. 2 more times. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Bring your hands to heart center. I want to thank you for sharing your practice with me today. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you live a life of ease. Namaste.